Hello students, how are you all? Welcome to school. Today we are going to learn about a modern saint. Who was a modern saint? We will see in this lesson. Lesson number 36, Gadge Maharaj. Today we are going to learn about Gadge Maharaj. Gadge Maharaj was also called as Gadge Baba. Who was Gadge Baba? Gadge Baba was a modern saint. He lived many years ago, but he is still remembered for the great work he did in thousands of places. What did he look like, or how did he look like? Silver hair, brown eyes, fair skin, big, tall, and stout body. He wrapped a lungi around the waist and wore a torn but clean shirt. A cloth shoe adorned one foot, while the other foot was many times bare. He always carried a bowl and a stick. Because of his bowl or a Gadge, people started calling him Gadge Baba or Gadge Maharaj. His real name was Debuji Jingraji Janorkar. So, how was Gadge Baba? He had silver hairs, his eyes were brown and fair skin, and he was tall, big, and stout, means fatty body, and he wore a lungi and a torn but clean shirt, and in one of his feet a closed shoe adorned, means there was a closed shoe, but most of the time the other feet was bare, and he had a bowl and a stick, and that bowl made him called as Gadge Baba. Bowl means a Gadge, and his real name was Debuji Jingraji Janorkar. He never stayed in one place. He slept only on a rough blanket and used only his own arm as a pillow. He roamed from village to village, spreading his message of cleanliness, humanity, and importance of education. So, Gadge Baba, he slept on a rough blanket and used his arm as a pillow, and he never stayed in one place. And what he liked, what he wanted to spread, he spread message of cleanliness, humanity, and importance of education. He was not bothered by hunger or thirst. What he liked was bhajan, kirtan, and teaching people. Thousands of people flocked to listen to his kirtan. His kirtan used to be very lively. So, Gadge Baba liked bhajan, kirtan, and teaching people. And many people, thousands of people flocked to listen to his kirtan. And his kirtan used to be very lively. He would not only simply give lectures, he would often put questions to the audience to keep up their interest. Then he would show them how absurd they were in the words and action. Absurd means wrong. For example, he would ask, how many gods are there? Answer would come 1. You worship Khandoba, Mahasoba, Viroba, and Vetal, and so on. You worship many more, don't you? Answer would come yes. Your action shows that you believe that there are number of gods, and yet you said a little while ago that you worship one god. Were you asleep then? Instead of giving lectures, Gadge Baba used to make people realize what wrong they are doing. The audience would be taken by surprise. Then they would listen more attentively to the Baba. Baba would say, you offer things to God in return for his favor, don't you? They said, yes, we do. And don't you say, God, my child is ill, please make him well, I'll offer you a goat? They would say, yes, we do. And don't you say that if God lets go the two-legged child, you will offer him in return a four-legged animal? They would say, yes, we do. Why? Can God, who created this world, be so cruel? Can he be so greedy? Can he be bribed? They said, no. Do you think killing and eating one of God's creature will please him? Will he bless you for that? Then the audience would realize how wrong their thinking was. They would promise to be more thoughtful, and in this way, Baba created in them confidence, and he told them not to do all these wrong things. After Kirtan, people flocked to touch Gadge Baba's feet, but he wouldn't allow anyone to do that. He didn't like people touching his feet. As soon as the Kirtan was over, he sped away. Sped away means leave the place or went away, leaving the crowds far behind. Develop good qualities, that's all. There's no point in touching my feet, he said. Baba followed one rule to the end of his life. Wherever he went, be it a village, town, or a small settlement, he asked for sturdy brooms, spades, and pans. Then he would sweep and clean the whole area. Soon other people joined him, but he did not wait for that to happen. He started sweeping and cleaning the place himself. And if any bystander tried to bow to Baba while he was busy in his work, that person will get a smack of the broom on the back. So, wherever Baba went, he used to clean the area. And if any bystander tried to show respect or bow to Baba, he will get a smack, means beating from the broom on the back. You don't do any of this work yourself, and when somebody else tries to do it, you put yourself in the way. Move aside. See how nice and welcoming this village looks when it is clean. In this way, Baba used to clean the area and encourage people to also keep their area neat and clean. So, Gadge Baba made people realize the importance of cleanliness. If you visit a holy place in Maharashtra like Pandharpur or Nasik or Dehu or Alandi, you will see the work Gadge Baba did in these places. He himself worked hard, asked for help, and built free boarding places, ghats on the rivers, and water spouts for the poor, helpless, disabled, and needy. He started places that offered food free of cost. He built schools, colleges, and hostels for children. He saw God in the poor and miserable people. Serving these people was his way of serving God. So, all these works are done by Gadge Baba, and he tried his best to make people realize importance of cleanliness and education. Now we'll see lesson number 37, bedtime. It's a poem. The evening is coming, the sun sinks to rest, the rooks are all flying straight home to the nest. Cow, says the rook, as he flies overhead, it's time little people were going to bed. In this poem, the poet says that it's evening time and the sun sinks to rest, means the sun sets and all the rooks are flying. Where they are flying? They are flying straight to their nest. All birds are flying to their nest, and the rook says cow. Rook is a kind of bird, and he flies overhead and says that it's time for all the people to go to bed. Means as the evening comes, everybody goes to their places. The butterfly, drowsy, has folded its wing. The bees are returning No more the birds sings. The labor is over. The nestlings are fed. It's time little people were going to bed. Here the butterfly Drowsy has folded its wings, means the butterfly also has become tired and it's also going to bed, and so it has folded its wings. The bees are returning, means the bees also have gathered nectar from flowers and they are also returning back to their beehives, means they too are returning back home as it is evening time. No more the bird sing, means the birds have also stopped singing and they too are returning to their nest. Their labor is over and their nestlings are fed, means they have worked whole day long and they have also fed their nestling. Nestlings means baby birds that are in the nest. Why all are coming back into their nest? Because it's evening time and all the people are going to bed. Good night, little people. Good night and good night. Sweet dreams to your eyelids till dawning of light. The evening has come. There's no more to be said. It's time, little people were going to bed. So the poet says that as it's evening time and it will be dark, means it will be night. So all birds are returning to their nest and he wishes them sweet dreams and good night till the dawning of light. So the poet says that the evening has come and it is no more to be sad. It's time for everyone to go to bed. The poet wishes good night to everyone and sweet dream till the dawning of light, means till early morning, and he wishes good night and sweet dreams to everyone. So in this way, this is the poem about evening.